Wop jam, nitty gritty. You're listening to the boy from the big bad city. This is Jam Hot. This is Jam Hot.
Welcome to Who's Hot with your host, Wil Chung.
Greetings, friends, acquaintances, and anyone else who just happens to be listening. Welcome to another edition of the UKOCR podcast. As you have guessed by the intro, this is a Who's Hot podcast. Yes, Will, Becky, and new host, Chris Shipley, are here to tell you what's coming up in 2023. What events are there going to be? Who to look out for? Middle of pack, front of pack, new point system, everything that you can talk about. I'm not going to wait on the record. Oh, by the way, I will say they recorded this directly after the UK Obstacle Racing Awards. They did it the following morning, slightly foggy-headed, I think. But we're not going to put no bloopers on because I've taken them out. But I'm not going to put no bloopers on because this one's not for a blooper show. This is about 2023. How it's changed, how it's going to be better, and who to look out for. But without further ado, not my podcast. Going to hand it over to Will. Here's Will.
Hello and thank you for downloading the latest UKOCR Who's Hot podcast. My name is Wil Chung, I am the host and we are today talking about preview of 2023. As always, I am here with my co-host Becky. Becky, how are you doing?
Hello Will, good thank you. A little tired after the awards last night.
Yeah, we were just having a few minutes, weren't we? And I've got a bit of brain fog, so I really don't know how this is going to go. But of course you did nuts as well yesterday. How did that go?
Yeah, good, thank you. I did just the one lap, the sprint lap.
Yeah. It's
not really a sprint when it takes me over an hour. But yeah, nuts always makes my body feel a bit beaten up afterwards. I've got quite a few bruises and a sore ankle, but other than that, feeling good. Went well.
Yeah, I went out. I did a couple of laps, and I've got all these random bruises and scratches as well. So the OCR season is definitely back. And actually, we've now got our new co-host, our new presenter, Chris Shipley. Chris, welcome to Who's Hot.
Hi everyone, it's good to be here.
Great to see you and welcome. So I know you've been on the podcast with Alan and Ian, but just tell the listeners a little bit about you.
So I'm basically Mark Dixon's replacement after his sudden retirement from OCR. I'm a obstacle racer, raced in the UK series and that. I'm a bit frazzled from last night at the championships, so my brain's not working as well as it should be. Raced nuts yesterday as well. And we're going to give this podcast hosting thing a bit of a bash, aren't we?
Oh, well, I see you've come with a load of notes, unlike Becky and myself, so we'll see how this goes. As listeners can hear, we're in Reigate Manor, so it was the UKOCR Awards last night, and we just thought we would try and get together. It's the first time that the three of us have been able to sit in a room and have this podcast, so hopefully it'll go very well, and even if it doesn't, then you're not even going to be listening to this, so I don't know why I'm even saying it. So, 2023, a UKOCR series 2023, lots of changes, lots of stuff coming up, some really exciting races. I've got the dates here. I'll just very quickly go through them, and then Becky and Chris, I'll come back to you just to see which one may be your favourite, something that might stick out, something that's of interest to you. So we start the series April the 30th, so again, a bit later than we started last year. Spartan Super 10K. May the 14th is Nuclear Challenge Cup. June the 18th, Rude Rampage, a brand new race to the UK OCR series. July the 1st is Total Warrior 12K. August the 5th is Beach Ballistic. That's back again, and I know there's lots of people really interested in going up to Aberdeen. September the 2nd, Nuts Challenge 7K. And October, Becky, remind me, October the 8th is a British OCR Championship. So, Becky, first of all, any of those that really stick out to you that you're quite excited about?
I think there's going to be at least 3 uber competitive races. I think everybody basically that's doing the whole series will be at Spartan Super Challenge Cup, and I think the finale at the championships will be really exciting.
Yeah. Chris, what are your thoughts?
Definitely agree with Becky there. I mean, the Spartan Super is going to be it's probably the first race of the year, so everyone's going to turn up for that. And Nuclear Challenge Cup being the FISO qualifying race, all the big names are going to be there for that. So they'll be probably the most competitive races this year. And like you say, Beach Ballistic, there's lots of word about that. So people are even looking to travel up there to do that. So that might be quite competitive.
I mean, what's really interesting to me straight away, you've both said those two races. They're the first two races of the series as well. So that really does start
all the hype's there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, spring season is kind of like busy. There's so much in there, and I think it's a good time to prepare for like Euros as well. So people will be kind of trying to peak then.
Yeah.
It won't be like an entry race. It will be a peaking, I think, time.
Wow. And so June the 18th, Rude Rampage, that's brand new. Becky, we were talking about kind of new races last year. How would this kind of change anything? Do you think we talked about people may or may not be going to some of these races are a bit further out. So surely, again, down to strategy, do you think people will be going to that one?
I think we built a lot of momentum last year as we went through the series, and there was lots of great feedback, and the awards last night were a really good celebration of that. So I think previously people have gone to look for kind of smaller or newer races to try and find those extra points, and that is maybe the opportunity from this list of races to do that. But last year, as we saw with like Total Warrior, everybody did do that, and it became one of the most competitive ones.
So fast, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it was horrible.
So that could happen again at all of these races. Yeah,
it is interesting.
That's what we want to see, though.
Yeah, definitely, and it is interesting how I think it's probably that one that's a little bit out there, because I would assume that the vast majority of the races wouldn't have done Rude Rampage. So
where is Rude Rampage?
It's southwest.
Right.
Southwest, so Bristol way.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's replacing Battle of Place.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Might have to write that down myself. Yeah.
So just down the M4.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably quite an equaliser again, not knowing the race, not knowing the layout so much.
Yeah.
Be an interesting one, wouldn't it? Does anyone have much information about that race?
We will definitely have it for when we do the preview in June.
See, I get
You'll have first insight.
Yeah, I get first insight.
Watch out, everyone. Chris is coming.
That's the only reason I took this job.
He's got his notebook.
I was asking you, Chris, which races you're doing, and it sounds like you're now starting to do more as you're writing
now
down.
I'm looking at them, I can see which ones I might be doing, yeah.
And again, Beach Ballistic, I think, is going to be another fantastic race. There was so much hype and so many great reviews of all the races going up there, and so I think it's going to be really competitive. Again, running on sand, running along the beach, and all the water that they had just brings a different dimension to the normal races too.
Yeah, I think it's good. Some of us Southerners like to get up to Scotland because all the Scottish people come down here and race so many times. It's nice that we can try and get up there and do the same thing for them.
Yeah.
So.
And that one will be part of the Scottish series as well, which
so
is running
it's a bit of a double
simultaneously.
whammy. Yeah.
So it will be competitive still. Yeah.
Oh,
that would be an interesting one.
Yeah. I won't be there. I'm actually in France on a hen do.
Oh, yeah. Becky, so are you allowed to give anything away in terms of the races that you would or won't be doing?
I have entered the first one.
Yep.
I wasn't really sure because of that elite 3K thing that Austin was talking about doing. I was kind of excited to maybe have a go at that, but that would have been on the Friday, and this is on the Sunday. And then I've also got an entry for London Marathon, good for age spot, and Das and my dad are doing it. So amazing. I'm kind of in a bit of a conundrum because they're very different things, and I still don't really know what I'm doing. But I have entered the Spartan Super, and of course that one has separate races for elite and age group, but the times for the series are going to be combined. So even if you're falling off the back of the elite, or if you're off the front of the age group start, you can still gain some more points. So you have to run for time in that race. So you can't be slacking, and it might be hard to do that if you've got a marathon in your legs a week before. Yeah. So who knows? And of course I'll be at Challenge Cup.
Of course.
We'll see about the rest.
And Chris, any particular races that you're going to be doing?
Well, like Becky, I'm definitely going to be at the Spartan Super because of the mega good Black Friday discount on Spartan races. But Nuclear Challenge Cup, I'll be there, and Nuts, I'll definitely be down there. But the others to be decided, I think. Yeah.
Yesterday I qualified for the British Championships.
Oh, nice.
Top 3 at Nuts.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'll be there. That clashes with OCRWC though, and now the Elite 3K. Or where is that Mule? I can't remember. Anyway, I'll be there.
We're all of them. We'll be there.
We would if we could.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the races, and I'll just quickly go through the top three from last year. In the Masters male, we've got Ramunas, of course, Jason Burgess, Dave Rogers. In the females, we have Louise Furman, Nikki Johnson, Sarah Dutton. The male, we had Dan Titcomb, James Burton, and James Brunnock. And in the females, we have Andrea Verquez, Louise Furman, and Karen McQuarrie. So they were our top threes. Just very quickly, how do you think that they're going to fare this time around, given that we're probably going to be seeing a bit more competition? Becky, over to you first.
Yeah, there might be a bit more variety in there. I think we won't see such consistent list of results. I think there'll be more names popping in and out. There's quite a few people on the female list with 3 races last year who didn't get a chance to score those final points, and that could kind of make a difference. Maybe there was a couple of them. Yes.
Chris, what about your thoughts?
Well, I've got some intel that some new faces coming through, especially on the ladies' side, and I know there's some names going to be missing from the men's side. I know that Dave Rogers is quite injured and he's not thinking about doing too many races, so that's going to upset a few. The men, though, I know there's some faces, not so much at the top, but sort of in the mid-pack. There's going to be some sort of upsets and some changes around to the usual names. But, yeah, everyone's going to be there, but it's just what position they're all going to be in.
Well, this is why I've got you two on to tell me who you think's going to be.
What's these new names then, Chris? Who are these new names that I need to...
Well, on the female side, I don't actually know their names. Yeah, the people that have told me have just said, there's some names coming through. I know a lot of girls from Rumble are going to be making a bit of an impact.
Yeah,
you raced with Pip at the OCR games, so she's definitely going to be making an impact.
And Josie and Spartan.
Josie, yeah. That's going to be good. And with the men, I mean, even yesterday, you see that Kenny Sams, he produced a really good result. Yeah, so he's going to be upsetting quite a few names. He's doing a lot of training down at the PT barn.
He looked fast but cold on the start line.
It is a cold race, but it's not going to be cold all year. No. So.
And he got through, unlike other people.
Yeah. Yeah, some people just don't like getting through sometimes.
It was bloody cold yesterday.
It was cold.
Yeah, I couldn't even move my fingers, but managed to cling on to the low rig, so it was okay. Just not my prettiest obstacle ever.
We had a new name yesterday as well. Was it Samuel in the men's? In third, yeah. No, it was in fourth. It was Samuel.
And for the listeners, he's getting his bits of paper out now.
I can't remember where I wrote it.
I have the results in front of me as well somewhere on my phone.
So whilst you guys are looking at that, I did put a post in the obstacle race Facebook group just to see who was looking forward to the races, what they were looking forward to do. Dave did comment, and I will say, competitors, you just need to be a bit more open. I only had a few comments, but I know that's because you want to play your cards very close to your chest. Don't do that. Just let me know. Give me a few hints and tips so we can talk about it. Dave Peters, I'll be back to OCR racing this year and aiming to compete in the series. Would be nice to see where I'm at after a year or two out of competitive stuff. Not expecting to be hitting top 10 or anything soon, but a nice contribution to my team score would be good, and have some half decent results as the season improves. Darren Martin, looking forward to heading up to Scotland for beach ballistics. Going to be a great year of racing, and also looking forward to the 7K Summer Nuts. I'd love to come and do Summer Nuts. Hopefully a top 10 for me and a team win for Rumble Fitness. We've got Wendy Brothers. I'm looking forward to participating in the UKOCR series, enjoying the range and terrain of obstacles. The camaraderie of the OCR community is phenomenal. So exciting to be part of it. My target is to complete as many obstacles and races as possible, and injury rehabilitation. Wendy's doing Nuts Nuclear Beach Ballistics are her favourite. Looking forward to my first Tartan Warrior and Rude Rampage. So there's one already again to Rude Rampage. And Tamar, I'm looking forward to Nuclear Rush. I think it's because it's a qualifier for Belgium, of course, a series race and the Challenge Cup. Then it should attract all the top races. So, of course, exactly what we've just been saying, that the early ones are really going to be attracting, and it's going to be a real good competitive race. It'd be good to see everyone competing against each other, as last season wasn't a race where everyone competed. She's right, and I think, as you mentioned, Becky, we were building momentum last year, and we noticed as we was doing the Who's Hot episodes each time, it just got more and more interest. And I think we were talking about that before the
Yeah.
podcast, Chris, actually, I think it's just going to go out with a bang and just keep going. So it's going to be, I think, competitive, from top to bottom.
Yeah, I think that the team event is actually going to be a lot stiff, like really difficult competition, and I think it could fluctuate quite a bit depending on which races just passed and how much variety and depth you have in the team across both genders. So it's going to be, that's going to be scary.
So before we talk about the runners and riders and talk about who we think is probably going to be up there in a little bit more detail, I know there's going to be a new points system. So Becky, do you want to just take us through some of that?
Yes, I mean, it's the same system in essence. You get points for where you position. Previously, the maximum points was 300 points. That's been increased to 500 points for first, but then second place is 465. So in the top 10, they're kind of spaced out quite widely. And then after 11th place downwards, you lose 1 point until 359th place. So that means there's more room for bigger races, trying to be a bit more fair for the different positions between larger and smaller races, and trying to also encourage the smaller races, so to get people to attend them as well, rather than just having the people will attend the ones that have big marketing budgets and things. So so hopefully that should be fair and help the community and the races by supporting them. So that's going to be different. And the other different thing about the points is that the final race is the British OCR Championships on the 8th of October. If you look on the British Obstacle Sports policy documents for qualification for the elite race at the British Championships, you'll see that if you complete the series and after nuts you're in a certain, I think it's top 20, then you'll be eligible for entry into the elite wave of the British Championships. And the points that are allocated in the British Championships, all the points will first go to all of the elite runners. So even if you're faster and you win an age group race, you still won't be able to achieve as much points for the series as the final position in the elite race. So hopefully that will encourage all the people who are kind of racing competitively to race head-to-head in that final event as a sort of finale, and also won't kind of disadvantage anyone who happens to be in, have come everyone basically who's in the series will be racing each other and be able to achieve the same level of points, rather than being put on the back foot. But you need to actually say you're going to enter the elite race to do that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Lots of math.
Yeah. It's all on the document that you can find from the UKOCR link tree, and it's on their Instagram. It links to the UKOCR race series points or rules for 2023.
Awesome. So I just there was another message I actually got as a DM from Rachel Decker. Hi Will, thought I'd drop a message re the 2023 season. So excited to get out there. Finished 11th elite in the Spartan Euro, so want to see what I can do this year. Nuclear is on the cards. And looking forward to that, as likely very competitive. As we've just said, it's going to be uber competitive. Great to have a mix in the league, as I do Spartans, but can get a bit repetitive. Hungry Years, I'm doing the 15k, hoping to be selected for the UK team event. Fingers crossed. Got to be working on my obstacle skills as I rely on running at the moment. Super excited to be back out there with everyone and hope to see new faces in elite waves.
Nice. Yeah, she recently ran the half marathon. It was off-road, but she had a good time. I think Ellen Wells was there as well, doing the 10k, and she's running really fast too. I know Ellen wants to do a lot of the shorter, faster races and aiming to get to Worlds for that, and travelling abroad to do a lot of other races in the run-up. I saw her at the Ninja competition the other day, and she's ready and raring to go. So yeah, and then Rachel's joined Team Grit, and then Rumble, I've had loads of ladies signed to the team recently, including Shai, who's a ninja and winner of SAS Who Dares Win. So
that's who it was.
Yeah,
Dave was telling me about it yesterday.
Yeah.
I should have wrote that
She's
name
great.
down, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Beat me to that, Becky.
Well,
Yeah. Put me to shame.
Always dropping the exclusives in there.
just do it off the top of my head. I don't need notes, Chris.
That's because you're smarter than I.
Now, children. Right, Chris. Who is hot? Who do you think is going to be out there? Who do you think is going to be maybe some new names that might mix things up? And who's going to really possibly even go against Dan Tickham to see if we can knock him off his perch?
So the only person I can see knocking Dan off would probably be Luke Benedictus at the moment with the speed. He's running super fast. I mean, he hit a trail marathon the other week, which was really quick. What did he do? He did a half marathon in 1:22 Maverick race. You know them, wasn't it?
Yeah, down the road.
Yeah, so he's also got a 16-minute 5K. So he's definitely got the leg speed. Dassos is running really well at the moment. Did a High Rocks Championship, so you'll know quite a lot about that. You was there, weren't you?
Yeah, marathon training's in full swing.
Yeah, so that'd be good. And Tom Tweedle, if he's going to do any more of the series races, he'll be up there racing against Dan. He's always got consistent training going down, so it all just depends who shows up for the series races.
Yeah. Well, perhaps Tom will turn up to the ones which are qualifiers or for selection, national trial selections for the World Championships. So maybe
Do we know if he does? Has anyone spoke to him? Have you spoke to him?
I think he will. Yeah.
You think he will?
Yeah.
Another exclusive.
I don't know. I'm not him.
Maybe just a gut feel there, Becky. Is that what you?
Yeah, sure.
Becky, any names you want to add to the males mix?
Don't really pay attention to men. Yeah, I mean, I hear every day about Dassos training, so can't stop getting on about it.
Is the Travelator going to be a nuclear challenge?
That was, yeah. He was glad that didn't win Obstacle of the Year last night. Yeah, so I don't know.
Well, Chris, what about a bit further down, or even where do you think you're going to go? Because I know you're not quite sure exactly how many races you're going to do, but how do you think you would fare if you got 4 races in? Just put yourself out there.
I don't know really. I'm usually in the mid pack anyway, so I'll be with all the other names. Depends who's racing again. Like we had Kenny yesterday and Reese. There was a new guy yesterday. Who did we say it was? Samuel Clark.
Yeah.
Now he's came down. He looked strong yesterday at Nuts. He might be doing some more races. We don't know where he's going to be. Darren Martin, he's going to be running in the sort of same pack as I am. Fergal's meant to be running really strong at the moment. He's been training down at the PT barn as well and at Wild Forest as well, is he?
Yeah.
Can you even read my notes? I can barely read them. My handwriting's like a 5-year-old, isn't it?
What about Brannock?
Brannock, well, all we know so far.
Last year.
Well, is he going to be doing any of the series races? He did last year, so, it's a good chance he will be again. Finley, yeah, that's the name that we got going. He's, what did he come yesterday? 4th, 5th?
He was running with Jason a lot. He was 5th. I think they had a sprint to the line.
Jason was moaning because he beat him, didn't he? And Jason had to do the penalty, and Finley beat him on the penalty.
Yeah.
Cheeky.
So Jason said it was running well, and Finley's definitely getting faster and faster, and obviously being a year older, going to be developing, and maybe he's eligible to enter more races. I don't know, because we don't have a junior series, so they can only enter the ones that the races allow them to enter. So they've got a bit of a limitation there.
So he's right in that age where he's going to start to get stronger and quicker, very quickly.
His leg speed's getting faster and faster all the time. Down at Rumble Troop Race a few weeks back, his running was really strong, looked good every lap he was going around. Superb race. He's really coming into his own.
I think Gavin Hogarth, I think he's sticking more to the Scottish series this time around, isn't he? But I'm sure he's going to come and do a bit of damage and just mix things up a little bit too.
Yeah, hopefully Challenge Cup. Yeah. Everyone will be there.
Yeah. It all depends as well. We might have Ryan Ibbotson doing some more races as well. He's always a strong competitor, super fast runner, really good High Rocks. Is he doing High Rocks or is he doing the UKOCR series? We don't know.
Well, High Rocks is over after May. Yeah. So, I mean...
And we know he always has good finishes off that. So yeah. I think Jack Carpenter's going to be doing some more races this year as well.
Yeah, I was speaking to him yesterday.
He wants to do 3K something rather, doesn't he? So
to be fair, I was going to make sure we mentioned Jack Carpenter because from his interview again with Alan, he was talking about putting pressure on him and making sure his name is always going to be on the podcast. So every podcast we are going to be talking about Jack Carpenter just to make sure he's out.
Sounds like Jack.
And hopefully Mo will be making a good impression this year as well.
Yeah, and people used to think of him as a shorter racer.
Oh, but he can run long distance. For sure,
and he did so well at Spartan last year. Yeah. At one of the longer ones.
Well, he did nuts 4 laps last year as well, and I raced behind him, and every time he jumped over something, it was like a springboard, like a little, bam, you're just jumping over things every lap. Yeah. So he doesn't slow down, really strong. He's coming into his own now.
Yes.
Anyone else on your notes? You got a lot of notes there.
Yeah, they're just names.
Ramonis,
yeah.
Sam Blunt.
Sam Blunt.
Nuclear Phoenix name there.
Yeah, he's always a strong runner.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of training for High Rocks as well.
Is
He's
he?
pretty fit. Yeah.
We've got Alex Young as well. He's always looking strong. He's doing a lot of training down the PT barn. Scotty says he's training well.
Yeah.
What about Scotty Barker? Is he joining us in the UKOCR series?
I know he's thinking of doing a few Spartan races. I spoke to him the other day, and he's...
Really? Even after all?
Uh-huh.
That surprises me.
What, doing some Spartan races?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think he got a few codes or something, so, but I don't know. But he's going to do a few races, pick and choose again.
Yeah.
So, but I said to him, hopefully we'll see him at a few races. It's always good to see him. So, yeah. And I think another young kid that Scotty from the PT barn was saying was Harry Jeffries.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he's meant to be coming along really strong as well.
He's a little ninja. How old is he? He's a bit younger than the others. So,
yeah.
Yeah, he's on Nuclear Phoenix, one of our juniors, and he's so fast across the obstacles.
Yeah,
he came second at the Spartan Kids World Championships.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely a face to look out for in the future.
And his sister Sophie. Probably not.
A whole family of them, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah. It's going to
She
be
was
That's when you know it's dangerous, isn't
maybe the
it?
dynasty, yeah.
They've both taken home our Who's Hot podcast vests last night at the awards, so you'll see them promoting the podcast. So,
So
it's only fair.
what names were they again then? Just to make sure they listen.
Harry and Sophie Jeffrey. Dad Stuart's been helping out with the kids' races. Yeah.
Awesome. Right, let's go over to the females again. Top three: Andrea, Louise, and Karen Macquarie. Where do we think they're going to be, Becky? Would you be chasing them into fourth place? And who else do we think we should be looking out for the UKOCR series?
Well, Andrea is definitely running well at the moment. She recorded a FKT yesterday, I'm pretty sure, around the local area instead of doing nuts. So yeah, she's definitely got the speed in her legs at the moment and over a long distance. And I think
she's a super focused racer. She's always really good.
Yeah. And I think she can have that speed even on the shorter events too. So it's not a case of, she doesn't have the top speed. She definitely has, and she just keeps it going. So I think all of those kind of distances she'll be good at. And then hopefully we'll see Nikki Johnson for a few more races. She just likes to turn up without anyone knowing. So it's always a nice surprise when she does. But hopefully she'll be in for some Spartans and Challenge Cup as well. So that'll be like a strong start for both of those races. Hopefully Fede as well, because she's had a great Spartan season and she's raced a lot across Europe as well. She's in Italy this weekend for Warrior Race because she's looking for qualification, but for her home country. So I've always been neck and neck with her as well. So that's going to be tough, especially over our home ground, which she trains on every weekend at Nuclear. And then we've got Louise Ferryman, who's she's had some time out because of her wrist that she broke on.
That doesn't seem to be giving her any trouble at all now, does it? She seems to have bounced back with no problem.
She was
amazing.
Enough yesterday, wasn't she?
Yeah,
she did 2 laps. She was
no
happy
problem.
how it went through. So
Louise, that's going to be a huge boost of confidence just to know that she can use that hand again. So
definitely.
Yeah. Need to watch out for
I
her.
think it's helped her become more focused. She was already very dedicated.
It's crazy. Crazy dedication. I've never seen anyone like it.
Yeah, totally. So hopefully that works out because I think I can't imagine her going backwards with the wrist now. So it's the only way is up. Karen Macquarie was right behind me yesterday.
She looked strong as well.
Yeah.
I came up behind her as well when I was following you guys, and she did look strong.
Yeah, she was very pleased with that race, I think, and she's training a lot up in Scotland with Fit Body Farm.
Yeah.
Good at the obstacles and just keeps up the pace. She doesn't get tired. She's good in the water. She's an open water swimmer as well. So any races like that aren't going to phase her. She's tough Scottish lady.
But they don't feel the cold.
So formidable, I'd say. Me and Tamar placed equal fourth last year, and Tamar is so good at obstacles at Wild Forest.
Yeah, well, when she came down and did the Rumble Troop race, she didn't fail a single obstacle.
Yeah.
She did every one of them, and she's super strong on them obstacles. Yeah. And her running seems really good as well. So definitely one to look out for.
Yeah, and of course Libby did Limitless yesterday. 5 laps of nuts, and her first 4 laps were pretty consistent in terms of time. The last one was just a celebration, I guess.
Victory lap. We all like those ones. Oh, yes.
So I mean, I can't even imagine doing that myself. So it impresses me so much.
Yeah, there's so little of her.
Yeah.
She must have been freezing.
Yeah, she was happy like all the time. She was,
Crazy.
yeah.
Well, I've said to both of you yesterday, I did 2 laps and I enjoyed the 2 laps, but I would not have then enjoyed going out for a 3rd or 4th lap. So, good on her for just that mental grit to just keep going, battling against the cold and just keep going.
She's very determined. I don't think anyone could have told her to stop at that point. It was, no, Mum, I'm carrying on.
And then in the awards, she just looked so fresh and so happy as well. That was the other thing.
Yeah. What I'd like to see from Libby is a bit more of the top speed. She's done a lot of long races and she's very good at that. For some of these races in the series, you need a bit more of the top speed. So I reckon that's what you got to do, Libs.
Some of these are definitely that shorter, isn't it?
She's definitely got the engine, so.
Yeah, exactly. Kate Stillwell, legend.
Yeah.
I only won the race yesterday because she wasn't there.
She's always my top pick. She's an incredible athlete.
She's so tough. She's doing a lot of cycling still at the moment and a lot of other sports.
Although I spoke to her yesterday, she'd come off her bike, didn't she?
Yeah. Raised her chin and her knees split open from when she fell off her bike the other time.
Isn't she phased by it though?
No, and she comes out with a tray of Jaeger bombs.
Nice.
I think she only did that because she saw I bought a tray of Jaeger and she thought, oh, what an idea.
Yeah. You're the trendsetter, Will. I see you both trying to take me down with alcohol. I see.
So have you spoken to Kate about the races that she may be doing this year?
Yeah, we hung out last weekend helping them at one of these kids' OCR races and she says she wants to do total world domination, so all sports, all races. Right. So yeah, she'll be there. We talked about Nikki and Fede already, and we got Josie from I think she lives in Shropshire. Is that with Matt Roberts? Yeah, she beat me at Spartan last year.
Did she?
Yeah, Josie Lloyd. She came 4th. In the Super, which was part of the series last year.
Okay, cool.
And the year before that, she did the Spartan Wales one, and she was racing age group, and her time was faster than most.
So that's
a lot of
the elites. To put a spanner in the works.
Yeah, she seems to she's got a training going. She won a race yesterday, like a trial race. Really good at hills, I reckon, and has got a background in some sports that are useful for obstacles.
Yeah. So what?
Like yoga, gymnastics, kind of
yoga.
things. Yeah. So I reckon she's got the body awareness, she's got the strength, she's got the hills. So definitely.
Can I just go back a step, Becky? Because you moved on quickly before I asked the question. But if Kate's coming in and doing more races, how does her and Andrea then start to line up?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't get to race alongside them because I'm a couple of minutes behind, it turns out.
I think that's going to be course dependent.
Yeah, because I've heard stories from them from Spartan races where perhaps Andrea's hands haven't been working so well and she's had to do a penalty and then caught her up a bit but then Kate's pushed on, and so I think it depends on maybe the number of obstacles, something like Challenge Cup.
If it's built up a bit, then it's going to really slow Andrea down between the obstacles, and then Kate can probably move in and flow through those obstacles probably just a little bit faster than Andrea. That would be
maybe
really
in a Spartan Andrea might be okay, but on Challenge Cup I think Kate would come out on top. Yeah, and Nikki would also be in that mix a bit, maybe in between the two.
Right.
And maybe she'd end up second in both or winning. I don't know. Yeah.
It's going to be a good one to watch.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Chris, any names that you want to add into the mix?
Well, all the names that were mentioned, especially on the women's side, have all been mentioned. Did we mentioned Pip earlier on in the podcast? She's been training well. Anyone else is just going to turn up? And Ellen Meekins?
Yeah.
So I don't know too much about her. So.
Oh, she's a little pocket rocket ninja, total ninja. She's so powerful. She'll outdo anyone really on an obstacle in terms of speed, I'd say. She does it fast, and she's been training at Obstacle Play Park with Emily as well. Emily's got really good at obstacles there too. And she did a Maverick race the other day, and her average pace was really, really fast. She won it. So yeah, 3Ks I reckon.
It seems like there's now that we're getting more women in, they seem to be focusing their training a lot more on the obstacle plus the running side of things and doing a lot of work at obstacle places. So that should be good.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you very much for your time. Any final thoughts about the coming season ahead? Anything you're excited about? Any particular race obstacle.
It'd be nice to know what the sort of race is going to be like at the UK
Well,
Championships.
I was just about to say as well.
It won't be just a Spartan race.
This is what we're all worried about.
A bit more than a Spartan race.
Come on then, Becky, give us a little bit of an insight there.
Well, it's 12k, so that's
Still
not
too short,
a 10k super, and it's not a
No.
21k beast. So it's a super with a bit more.
That's a
And,
classic distance.
With a bit more maybe variety in the obstacles. It won't be like the 10k race plus a 2k run. It will be a bit extra in terms of the obstacles as well from their suite of products. So I think that'll be exciting.
So do you think they'll be able to bring some Tough Mudder obstacles in? Oh,
I don't know.
Couple of
I can't.
weeks.
can't we get someone on the podcast who's got more information on this?
Maybe get Kong on there. How awesome would that be?
I would love Funky Monkeys. Funky Monkeys is my favourite obstacle of all time.
Right.
Just a giant mudder horn finish. Yeah, and what was the question?
Any particular race, person, obstacle that you're excited about, or just the 2023 season in general?
I think this year will be just really exciting all round. Like everyone's kind of coming together and becoming more competitive, and I think it will really show to the world, I guess, when we get to the World Obstacle, the FISO World Championships in Belgium in September, because the selection kind of systems that we have in place will make sure that the elite, but also every age group is really well represented across every event. 100 meters, we've got the ninjas that are kind of qualifying for that as well, and we've got those Tata Mori races and everything. So I think basically the UK will be kind of put on the map, thanks to this series and also the selection events, kind of going to Euros and Worlds. So I think that's going to be a really exciting thing about this year. Yeah. And the other countries will be looking at us like, oh, they've done it well. Yeah. And hopefully everyone will feel kind of proud of themselves at the end of that time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think because everyone's got something that they can really train for and put a lot of effort into working at to get to, it's actually making it a lot more competitive and a lot more people coming in and putting in the time and effort to do well at these sort of races. Yeah, you're right. I think we will have a good stamp on anything that we do at the FISO or any other championships.
And I think having the UKOCR Awards that we had last night, it was a culmination of everyone's hard work, and we get to applaud and congratulate those winners, which is a really nice thing to do, where obviously other times we're not being able to do that, but just to be able to go, well done,
it was
fantastic.
So nice.
It was a really nice way of getting together. Me personally, I'm just excited that I think we've built this momentum, and you've already said those first two races are really just gonna go off, and I'm just excited to see how those go, and then the rest of that season, especially with the British Obstacle Championships right at the end. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic season.
Yeah.
So Becky, thank you very much. Chris, how do you think your first podcast went?
Well, I'd like to do it next time without a hangover.
I think we'd all want to do that.
Because that was not easy.
Don't let yourself to blame.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's true.
We're all there.
Yeah, but I think it was okay. So.
Great. No, it's great to welcome you on the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll be on again.
Right.
We'll see. Becky and I will talk later on.
Yeah, and then you won't message me at all.
I've actually been great.
I'll be ghosted. Please talk to me.
Swipe left. You can follow Chris Shipley on Instagram. His Instagram handle is Obstacle Race Dude. You can follow Becky at The Runner Bean UK. This has been the UKOCR Who's Hot podcast. We're previewing 2023 season. My name is Wil Chung. Thank you very much for listening. If you haven't already, you can buy us a beer. You can join us on Patreon, and
No best for Chris.
Maybe not for Chris. Maybe at the end of the season again.
No, that's it, never again.
You can buy us a beer or buy us a coffee. You can join us on Patreon if you like what you hear and you want to support the UKOCR podcast and the UKOCR team. So that's it from myself, Becky and Chris. Thank you very much, and we will be talking to you later in April to the preview of the first race of the UKOCR 2023 season. So goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So as they say, that is a wrap on that. It's going to be exciting. Next week, what have we got coming up? Apart from the Swift Half, we have got Scott is back next week, hopefully, discussing Tartan Warrior, the second race in the Scottish series. Absolutely amazing. Thank you for listening once again. You all take care. Please give us a review. Love you all. Bye.
I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands.